Hello, anyone send the link in my official WhatsApp group, Let's Join Pharmacy, so that every student can join this live meeting. Very important live session today. Today we will discuss about the analysis question papers. Okay, analysis. Pharmaceutical analysis. Hi. Hi, Pawan. Hi, Mallu. Handi. Pharmaceutical analysis 1. Just send this link of today's live session to my official WhatsApp group so that every student can take a opportunity of this. After the 10 plus addition of the members, inshallah, we will start the question paper discussion. Okay, means how to write, what to write. Tomorrow is our analysis question examination is there, what to write. Yeah, 11 members are joined. Yes, let's start the question paper. See, tomorrow those who are writing pharmaceutical analysis, for them this video is very important. See, today's question paper, human anatomy and physiology, in yesterday's live session what questions I had discussed, no, maximum questions are repeated from that only. Okay, inshallah from tomorrow's question paper also maximum questions will be repeated from what I am telling questions only. Yes, let's start this. See, the first very important question in pharmaceutical analysis is with the 10 marks. Define and classify, determine errors with example, then methods of minimizing errors. Now for this question, how to write this question? First you write what are errors. After writing errors, you classify the errors. Okay, you classify errors. See, classification, first you write a side heading of the classification. See, classification, first 1 2 3 4. After that you just explain those classification, minimum 7 to 8 lines you go on explaining all the 4 classifications. Okay, after that you go on, you go for minimizing errors. How can you minimize the industrial errors, or in the pharmaceutical analysis how can you minimize? You go there. See, many students, while I am studying in first semester, I met many students. Those students are writing questions direct answers. The direct answers means, see, classify acid base titration. They will write acid base titration for classification, that strong acid, weak acid, weak acid, strong base directly. Then they will just go and explain the cunoid theory of indicators. Please, it's my request to you all. It's my request. I humbly request to all my students, don't do this mistake. If you do this mistake means you will not get a single mark here. You will not get a single mark. What you have to write, I will give you an example. Classify acid base titration. You first write what is this acid base titration. After writing acid base titration, you write what is acid, what is base. After that you classify acid base titration. These basic questions you have to follow first. After that you have to directly go for that question. Okay, after classification you write in detail about that 4 types of the acid base classification with a graph. Graph is very important here. Graph play a vital role. After that you explain cunoid theory of indicators with example. Then you will get 8 marks here. Not 10 marks, 8 marks. Next, third question, define oxidizing and reducing agent with suitable example, explain principle involved in the Ideometric titration. See, this third question is fixed for your examination. Okay, one question is fixed here, the third one, that is on the redox titration. They will ask directly, explain redox titration and write the principle of sometimes they will ask serimetry or iodometry or bromatometry or permagnometry, dichromometry, From these 4 to 5 redox titration, one is fixed for you. Okay, there is one opportunity. Sometimes they ask in 10 marks as well as in 5 marks. Now here what you have to write means that define oxidizing and reducing agent. First you write what are the redox titration, then you write the classification of the redox titration. Means 6 classifications are there, no, permagnometry, dichromometry. After that classification, then you write water oxidizing agent, then reducing agent with example. After that you explain ideometric titration. Okay, now see, unfortunately what happens, for 10 marks you have to write 5 pages, minimum 5 pages. They will supply you 5 pages, 50 pages one booklet. One more important, first semester students, those who are writing a first time examination, remember this point what I am telling. It is the note for you all. The question number which was framed in your answer sheet, you have to write a particular answer to the question only. For an example, see, they have asked, see, define and classify determinant errors with example. This is the first question on your question paper. Then in the same your answer booklet, you have to write to the first question only. There they will mention question number 1, question number 2, question number 3. For question number 1 and 2, they will supply 5 pages for question number 1, 5 pages for question number 2. Then third question will be start from the 5 marks. That 3 pages answers. Okay, this you have to give very important. Now for an example, in question paper they have asked fifth question, where fifth question, what is a usefulness of mixed and universal indicators. At that time you have to write this fifth question in the fifth question number of your answer sheet. Don't write wherever you want. You write this at the particular fifth question of your answer sheet. Very important note this is, my dear brothers and sisters. Don't skip this one, very important one. If you misguided here means definitely you will fail your examination. If you wrote all the things means, guarantee from my side. You got these 3 10 marks questions. Now let's discuss about the 5 marks. How do you prepare and standardize the following compounds? 500 ml of 0.1 and hydrochloric acid, then 250 ml of 0.1 and sodium hydroxide. See, sometimes what happens, they will ask here 250 ml of 0.1 and hydrochloric acid and 500 ml of 0.1 sodium hydroxide. At that time what you have to do means, if you know the exact normality means, you can calculate and write it down. If you don't know the normal value means, then you write a same what you know for 500 ml. For 250 ml also you write the same. You don't worry there. Clear? Next, write a note on the mixed and universal indicators. Mixed indicators, universal indicators, self indicators. First classify those, then you write on mixed indicator and universal indicator. Just elaborate your answer. Don't write what they ask. You don't go for directly. I have told you previous one. Okay, you just elaborate that answer. Inshallah Rahman, you can get a good marks. Then explain the uses of following non-aqueous titration: perchloric acid, then acetic acid, acetic anhydride, crystal violet. These are very simple uses. Write down these uses. Then principal procedure involved in the Volart's method and modified Volart's method. This one is very important. Okay, Volart's method, modified Volart's method, Fajan's method, Morse method. From these 4 methods, one method is definitely fixed for your examination. Next one, you go for the 8th question. Explain the principle and procedure involved in estimation of calcium gluconate. First you have to write the principle, then you have to write the procedure, means how can you estimate that, how can you assay that. After that writing, you just go for applications of this calcium gluconate. If high fever means this calcium gluconate is given, and also calcium gluconate is given to strengthen your bones. Okay, if your bones are weak means this calcium gluconate is provided through IV route, intravenous. And also glucovita bowls, your glucovita bowls contains calcium gluconate. Then what is the co-precipitation and post precipitation with example? Very important. It comes under your precipitation titration. Okay, then explain the titrametric curves obtaining conductometric titration: strong acid was strong base was a strong acid. This conductometric titration, it is also one of the fixed question. One is a fixed here. Either they will ask directly for you only, write any one conductometric titration. At that time first you write what is conductometric titration, then you classify 4 types with a diagram, with a classification. First you write classification, after that you explain any two with a graph. Okay, if page remains means if you completed 2.5 pages, 1/2 page is remaining means at that time you write applications of the condometric titration. Okay, condometric titration. Then explain the construction and working of a glass electrode. Okay, glass electrode and hydrogen electrode, these both are different. You have to write here construction. First you write a principle of the glass electrode, then you go for the construction, a beautiful diagram you have to plot here. Then you go for working, then you go for advantages. Okay, if you know the disadvantages means you select from some disadvantages, 2 to 3 disadvantages from the Google, search it and write it down. Then construction and working of a DME, this is also very important. One is DME, then glass electrode, hydrogen electrode. Now 2 marks questions, see 2 marks question and answers, very important. These helps to score you a lot. Sometimes what happens, if questions tilted means if you lose hope in 5 marks and 10 marks means you can score from these, but please hold the paper right, please. Okay. See, sometimes what happens, if 2 marks and if 5 marks and 10 marks questions are, if you are misguided there, okay, if you misguided there means in 5 marks and 10 marks here, in 2 marks you can score a beautiful. So for your easiness, for your easy way, what I had done means I had uploaded the PPT, directly PPT in your Let's Join Pharmacy WhatsApp group. You can just go and download that. Okay, you can just go and download that and practice all those, don't miss there. Yes, next we will discuss about 2020 January question paper. See, same, define error, classify, determine errors with suitable example, explain the term accuracy and precision. It is also very important. After explaining, you explain this accuracy and precision. Then write a note on the solvents used in non-aqueous titration. This is also one of the very important. Solvent use, protic solvent, aprotic solvent, very important. First you write water non-aqueous titration. After writing non-aqueous titration, you write classification of the solvent. Then you explain all the 4 solvents. Okay, minimum here you have to fill 3 pages. After that, explain the preparation and standardization of 0.1 perchloric acid. There you have to write the principle, procedure, assay principle in perchloric acid. Okay, see, sometimes what happens, if you don't know of a perchloric acid, sometimes you just write what you know. If you know the hydrochloric acid means you just write for perchloric acid. But if you know the answer means you write down. Okay, I am telling for those students who don't know the answers at all, in the exam hall, just everything wash out. At that condition, inshallah, this condition not happens for you all. But safety, you keep safety here. If perchloric acid is asked means if you are not getting that answer means you write the hydrochloric acid. Okay, you don't worry, you write it down. Let's see. Define oxidizing and reducing agent. Fix one disease. Okay, sodium thiosulfide preparation and standardization. Then perchloric acid preparation and standardization, HCl, then sulfuric acid, sodium hydroxide. From these 5 to 6 preparations and standardization, what 2 is to fix for your examination. One they will ask attach in 10 marks and one in 5 marks. Okay, the same what you have done in your lab, no practical lab, just write the same here. Same, you don't worry. Next, 4th question, define normal solution, preparation standardization of potassium permanganate. See, potassium permanganate, same you write the titration, permanganometric titration, you write that one, same principle. Then titration curve of a strong acid versus strong base, same, strong acid, strong base, write it down. Then universal indicator, mixed indicator, you have to write some note on that, uses. Then Morse method, yes, suitable example, masking, demasking, ligand and chelate in complexometric titration. Here you write first what are the complexometric titration, then you write principle of complexometric titration, you give some of the example, means like EDTA, these all are the example for complexometric titration. After that you come for this masking, demasking, ligand, chelate, just to elaborate your answer. Then the next one is define gravimetry, 2 compounds assayed by gravimetry, explain advantages and disadvantages. Okay, very important. Barium sulfate is one of the very important here, assayed by the gravimetry. You write just barium sulfate. See, in gravimetry you should know one thing, the process all depend on washing, cleaning, washing, drying, cleaning, heating, washing, cleaning, drying, heating. Okay, you just the repeated process are there. You read it once, so you can get that. Next one, see, explain the construction working of glass membrane electrode. Glass electrode, glass membrane electrode. Then two conductometric titration curve. Here they ask write any two conductometric titration curve. That only strong acid strong base, weak acid weak base, or strong acid weak base. Any two you write. Then define polarography, indicate its application, enumerate the iconic equation. Enumerate the Icovic equation. Sorry, Icovic equation. See here, Icovic equation. Sometimes they ask in 5 marks, but many times this question asked in 2 marks. So don't skip this question. You write this equation with the terms. Equational terms are there. See that terms you have to follow here. Polarography, conductometry, fix here. Applications of these. What are polarography applications and limitations? Yes, let's move towards the 2021 question paper. See, this is the pattern of your question paper. What they will do means first they will ask this question. Explain the term molarity, normality, parts per million, equivalent weight of acid. If 2.45 grams of pure sulfuric acid is present, 50 ml solution, determine its strength in terms of molarity and normality. See, this is a very just tilted question. Tilted means difficult one. You leave this, you just go for this one. Define non-aqueous titration and give its application. Classify non-aqueous solvents with suitable example. Explain the essay of ephedrine HCl. Ephedrine HCl 1 and sodium chloride. From those two, one is fixed for you. The next one is C. Define and classify redox titration. Here the third question means second question for you all. It is a lucky one because every question, third one only they will ask on redox titration only. You have to fix that 4 to 5 types of redox titration: ferrimetry, bromatometry, dichromometry, permagnometry, ideometry, Ideometry. If you practice those all means definitely it's enough for your examination. Then see this first question what they asked the molarity normality. This question was also asked in this way. See, this one. What are the different methods of expressing concentration? How will you prepare and standardize 250 ml of 0.1 normal potassium permanganate? Here different methods of expressing concentration means first you have to write all the methods. Methods means concentration terms like normality, formality, molarity, molality. These all first to make a list of that. After go on explaining each term. Okay, after that you write the 0.1 potassium permanganate standardization. Then write a term absolute error, relative error, accuracy and precision. It is also very important. Error, absolute error, relative error means these are the classification of the errors. Just while asking in 10 marks, this question they repeated in the 5 marks. Explain Queneau theory of neutralization indicators. Already we discussed in 10 marks. They asked clear in the 5 marks. What are alkalimetry determinations? How will you prepare 250 ml of sodium hydroxide and standardize it? See, sodium hydroxide I have told you, HCl, sulfuric acid, perchloric acid. From these 5 to 6 standardization, 2 to 1 is fixed here. Then with suitable example explain the principal essay of calcium gluconate. I have told you calcium gluconate is 1. Then explain Fajan's method. Yes. Explain the barium sulfate by gravimetry. I have told you the methods used, which of the solutions can be assayed by the gravimetry means barium sulfate is 1. Bro, the question which you made a video on HAP2 important question. Yes, the questions which are framed in HAP2, alhamdulillah, every question maximum more than 85% questions asked from those questions only what I have set up. No, more than brain I have told, adrenal cortex I have told, many things asked from that. Yes, next question, explain the construction and working of standard hydrogen electrode. Glass electrode, DMA electrode, standard hydrogen electrode. Fixed for your examination. From these 3, 1 is fixed. Then conductance, conductivity, molar conductivity. Yes, this is also fixed. Sometimes they will ask in 5, but majority they will repeat it in the 2 marks. Construction and working of the DME means that dropping mercury electrode. Yes, you have to practice all this. What questions I have repeated? No, just practice all this without skipping. If you practice all the questions what I have told, no, then only you will pass your analysis. And many students know the answers, what to know the answers, but they don't know how to write, how to attempt the particular question. They will write directly the answer. No, here in degree there is no direct answer. You have to elaborate that answers. Now they will ask me directly, what is non-equous titration? Write a note on non-equous titration. You will write non-equous titration and just you will classify and leave it down. Don't do this one mistake. You write non-equous titration, then you write basic points on non-equous titration. Basically we are using here other than the water products in non-aqueous titration. Then you classify all the 4 types, explain particularly each one with an example. Okay, then you write some of the industrial applications of that non-aqueous titration where we use. That also very important. Bro, out of 18 questions in today's questions paper, there were around 10 questions, most of them. Yes. Many questions are repeated, bro.